So when it comes to the best Assassin's Creed game in the series, Assassin's Creed Black Flag is always in the conversation. And with the game now being over 10 years old, there have been some rumors that Ubisoft is secretly working on a Black Flag remake. And I personally think that Black Flag would benefit greatly through a remake in today's day and age. So what I always loved about Black Flag was the beginning of the game. You know, when you think about Ezio, when you think about Altair, those characters were destined to become assassins. But Edward Kenway is probably the most unlikely assassin in the whole series, because everything he cared for was money and power, and he was not interested at all in the Assassin and Templar conflict. He obviously didn't even know it existed, but his motivations to becoming an assassin in the first place are definitely very rare in the Assassin's Creed series. And I have to say that I really enjoyed Assassin's Creed Black Flag's story, especially the ending and the beginning of the game. But you know, there was a time, like shortly after the middle of the game, and it kind of felt like the story was kind of lengthened and forced by the developers. You know, not much was actually happening in the story in that specific period, and it didn't really feel like we were progressing and developing in the story. So, you know, shortening the story and putting only those things in that are really important is the first thing that I could do to improve the Assassin's Creed Black Flag game. And the same thing is with the modern day parts, because obviously this was the first game after Desmond Miles' death, so it had very big shoes to fill. But again, most of the modern day story kind of didn't feel right, and only in the ending of the game, the modern day stories actually start to be interesting. And that's also a thing that I could improve in my opinion, whether it is, you know, just putting less scenes in the modern day story into the game, or just try to make them more interesting and more engaging for the players. Because if I'm being honest, most of the time when the modern day sequences were beginning, I kind of wanted to skip them, and I'm pretty certain that if there was a possibility to skip those, I would definitely have done that. So whether you recreate or shorten the modern day stories, there's definitely something to do when it comes to them. And now the gameplay and open world of Black Flag are definitely one of the kind. Like, for me, this game is literally the best pirate game that has ever been made. You know, it really makes the dream of becoming a pirate come true. There's so much you can do in the huge open world. You know, visiting big cities, plundering islands, or just having sea battles with other ships. It's just incredible and a great experience. And also when you look at the game, I mean, when you play it on a PS5 or on a computer, this game still looks gorgeous. However, you still see that it was created for the older gens, for the PlayStation 3s and Xbox 360s, so you kind of see that in the graphics. And imagine exploring this world with modern high-end graphics. I mean, it would completely blow my mind, but I have to say that still the game, being 10 years old, looks absolutely incredible even after such a long time. However, there are some things that I would like to see changed in an Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake. For example, the loading screens that pop up when we are visiting a bigger city. You know, that's a small thing that kind of pissed me off while playing the game, because while it definitely doesn't take long for the cities to load, it kind of takes away from that freedom feeling that you have. You know, I mean, just swimming into a harbor with your ship would definitely improve the game quite a lot. And this would obviously be very easily fixed. Like, I mean, in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, for example, we were able to do that. But in Black Flag, it would make so much more sense for me. And I mean, the cities themselves definitely look incredible. While I had the feeling that sometimes they felt a little bit empty, that probably is also due to the limitations of the technology in 2013. But also just visiting Havana or Nassau with modern graphics, increased NPC counts would definitely be a great experience. And then lastly, a thing that I would like to see improved in an Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake is to implement a proper stealth button. Because in the game, the only way to really be stealthy is, you know, while you're moving through the bushes or going into an actual hiding place. But you can't duck or hide while moving around normally. And while the movement in the game was definitely better than in the last RPG games, I felt like, sometimes there's still a lot of problems when it comes to the parkour, because there are so many different things to grab onto or to hold onto. And especially while being on a ship and climbing onto a ship, I had a lot of problems while playing the game, because I was falling down or Edward was not jumping where I wanted him to jump. So reconstructing the movement and parkour would definitely help this game a lot. So all in all, I have to say that I'm really excited if a remake like that would come. Obviously nothing is confirmed, but I feel like Black Flag would definitely benefit a lot through a remake, even though it's already a great game in my opinion. So what are your opinions on a remake of Assassin's Creed Black Flag? Do you think it's overkill and the smaller problems are actually a part of the game now? Or would you also love to see an Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake? Or maybe you have other games in this series that you would like a reconstructed version of. You can tell me your opinion of that in the comments, and subscribe to the channel if you're also a fan of open world games like Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Alright guys, that was it from me in today's video. I hope you have an amazing day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.